PostlerFerguson. It's a pleasure to meet you here at Belgrade Design Week. How are you bearing up?
Pretty well. We had a very quiet night yesterday after arriving on Thursday, which was a bit rough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very wise. Very wise. The central question of the conference is future gazing, looking to the future. Why is that important? I mean, surely we've got enough things in the present to be concerned about.
Well, yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I think talking about the present is talking about the future. I think, it was said yesterday at the conference, and I really agree with that. I think that one of the most, all the things that are kind of facing us today, right? We're going to have to solve sometime in the future, and there will be new problems then. So, starting to think about how you can introduce aspects into your own practice to kind of sort out problems, change how things work, find new opportunities to work more efficiently or more interestingly is part of what designers do. I think designers always have an eye on the future.
Yeah, I mean, this is the very basic of it. This is what creative people do. Like, we help people to do something new, which will be introduced to someone in the future. Always.
And so, can you do certain keywords come to mind when you look at the future of your particular creative discipline?
Well, to our profession, I think what we see, because we work in China quite a lot, I think we see there a shifting of our importance into a different into a different area, because it seems that producing something, getting it on the market, is becoming so much faster. It's becoming so much more easy in a way, because it's cheaper now. And it's a bigger competition, so people have to produce more. They have to produce faster as well. So I think the role of the designer, who had, like, back in the days maybe 2 years to produce a chair, shifts to a more strategic role as well, besides doing the classic design.
I think you build on the fact that as a designer, your basic problem is that kind of the experience of the person who has the product, but at the same time, everything you do is part of a much bigger network that today spans a whole globe. No matter what you do, even if you're doing something that seems extremely trivial, you're still you've got ships moving around the world, you got oil being pumped up to make that ingestion plastic, and everything there is kind of part and parcel of what you do. And what we're really interested in is trying to find ways to kind of fold a view of that larger network into our own work, because I think there's a lot of talk today about the world being post-industrial or virtualized and everything, but actually today is hyper-industrial. It's just been pushed 1,000 miles away to where we don't see it anymore, but everything we do is so dependent on these incredibly sophisticated and complex systems that allow a product to be made in China and for me to get it in Tesco the next week, that I think for designers to start to figure out how to engage with that big picture is really interesting. Yeah.
And what about on a personal, professional level? I mean, you graduated how many years ago now?
4.
Yeah. And 4 years ago, when you were looking to the future,
yep,
in terms of how your careers were going to progress, I mean, has the present now, which was the future back then, has it worked out as you imagined? And also looking forward, which
I think it had, in a way that we always were very careful what we do. Like, we always did exactly where we tried to go, in a way. So we went around, fields like furniture design, for example, which, in 2008 in London was still is a big thing. There are lots of our friends from the RCA, are furniture designers. So that is a quite successful area, and we tried to get around this and worked more with probably like aesthetical projects in the first place to communicate those ideas of strategic thinking that we had back in the days. And now we try to, I think now we're actually at a stage where we can pack this as a product.
Yeah. And if the future is also bound up with aspiration, I mean, is there any particular type of project that you'd really like to work on, or any individual that you'd really like to collaborate with?
NASA.
NASA
would be good.
He's American.
ESA is also okay. I don't mind. I think what we'd really like to do is start to work with clients who maybe have no idea that they have an interest in product design, that they would have any benefit from it. I mean, I think that there's all kinds of benefits to the side effects like we talked about before of production and everything that comes along with making something that could become very interesting for governments, for large organizations, for kind of a new kind of client is actually what I would like to find, like something that's never commissioned a product designer before.
And is there anyone here you've listened to or seen that's been particularly inspirational here in Belgrade so far?
Yeah, I think everybody basically.
It's a diplomatic answer.
No, I mean it's really, I mean it's like two sides. It's like designers talking to designers, and I always wish to actually be on stage discussing that, you know, because it's so interesting. But then, of course, you know, we're the audience, but then also we kind of swapped this. So it's on the one hand it's really interesting, you know, to just see how our, you know, friends and similar age business, you know, friends are doing, but then also, of course, like what they're actually doing, like, you know, how their projects look like, how they're involved, how they're made, and so on. By the way, I want to work with Audi.
Yeah, Audi works too.
You know,
yeah,
as Americans.
I'm in. Good. I'm glad you got that in. PostlerFerguson, thank you very much. Thank you.